now we've got Academy Award winner and star from Community, Jim Rash. Good morning, Jim. How's it going, man?
It's going well. How about you guys?
I'm doing excellent, man. This is Jim Rash. You know him from Community. He plays Dean Pelton, Craig Dean Pelton.
Yeah.
And also, you probably know him from the Academy Awards. I got to say, dude, huge congratulations. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, even when you get into the business and you're getting gigs and you're writing and you're getting on shows and stuff, I mean, really, an Academy Awards got to seem still kind of out of reach. I mean, that's just got to be incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not in your mind that's what's going to happen. I mean, because in particular with the Descendants, I mean that job started like 2007. We started writing alone in a coffee shop, and you have no idea that 5 years later that's what the end result would be.
Yeah, it's got to be just an amazing. What a cool story. I was so proud of you. And what are you pretty? Was the whole pose with the statue on your leg? Was that a spontaneous thing? I know you've got kind of an improv and sketch background, so I'm sure you're used to coming up with funny stuff on the fly. But it ended up being like what's considered one of the funniest moments of the award show.
Well, I guess certainly didn't. It wasn't in my head until that moment. But the intention wasn't to just sort of mock as much as it was. I was just sort of out of my head, and sort of the moment they call your name and the surreal feeling of walking down and passing your friends, and you get up there and you're all proud, and it's been this long journey, and she had sort of chuckled and made that pose and was sort of owning and selling and rocking her dress and her moment. And so I sort of said, hey, I'm going to strike a pose as well and show how proud I am.
Yeah, very cool. Well,
and put my leg out. So
I thought it was fun.
It really became sort of just like a great way to sort of silently be excited.
Yeah, it's a really cool way also to not be forgotten. I mean, a lot of times, if you're not a George Clooney or, if you don't do like a Cuba Gooding Jr. speech, you just kind of are forgotten. Or if you're not like annoyingly French, like half of the winners this year, like nobody's going to remember you. Like you did a thing where now it's like, oh yeah, I remember him. Like you did an iconic thing at the Oscars, so people will think back. And, when you're telling family members years down the road, like, no, I used to have a real career. I even won this trophy.
Yes.
You can show a picture.
Yeah. No, I because when you all are multiple winners, since there were three of us, they ask you to delegate, to one person for time. So Alexander was going to sort of speak on our behalf. So in a way, yes, it's sort of that moment of like, well, I don't know, I'm going to be back up here,
Exactly. How do you decide who's going to talk?
Silent, but I got to figure out something. So
is Alexander like the coolest one of the three of you, or how does that come up? Where you're just like, okay, Alex gets to talk.
Well, no, I mean, I just think, Alexander, having been the man who hired us, along with his production company, and this journey, and obviously his fantastic direction and for the movie, we had sort of been alternating. Nat and I had sort of started when we got to speak at Writers Guild, and so it sort of went that way,
Very cool. So let me tell everybody that Thursday night, 7 o'clock, NBC Community, it's returning this Thursday after a hiatus, so that's going to be exciting, and we've got to get you out of here shortly, but I do want to acknowledge one rumor I found on the internet that you had a long, torrid love affair with George Clooney during the filming of The Descendants. True or incorrect?
I'm pretty sure it's incorrect, considering our conversation with him have been very minor. Even though I've met him, he's a nice guy. It hadn't gotten to those levels quite yet.
Okay, well, I'm glad that we were able to clear that up, and also remind everybody that the very funny show Community is back Thursday night, 7 o'clock here in Billings on NBC. So check out Craig Dean Pelton on the show, played by our friend here, Jim Rash. Jim, congratulations on all the success. Well-deserved, and hopefully we'll talk to you here in the future about something else, man. Thanks for calling.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Absolutely.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.